And this guy, you would think he's been doing it for years. He came all the way from the other side of the rainbow. Please give it up for Angus Cove!
All right, how's everybody doing at the Cove? All right, thank you so much for sticking around. You know, this isn't easy, so give it up for yourself if you're a comic. Give it up for yourself for coming out. Give it up for Marco behind the bar. And just thank you so much, because this isn't easy, and we don't have a crowd if we don't have people, so thank you so much. So pay no attention to this shirt since you're all on that side. You'll be fine. It's all right if you can't read. I'm Irish. So my name is Angus Thorne. I am painfully aware of that. I grew up in a traditional Irish Catholic household. I was an alcoholic before I was 10 years old. And, I was raised to love Jesus Christ. And then, that's right, and then they sent me to kindergarten, and I introduced myself as Angus Thorne, and I realized there is no God. People are very, very cruel. Now, the worst problem in today's society is that we have phones. I used to be a lot more useful before you had a phone in your pocket. I could tell you something like, do you know that the platypus is a monotreme, which is a mammal that lays eggs, and there's only two types, the echidna and the platypus. See, I used to give speeches about that. Now you can just look that stuff up, and they look at me and they go, yeah, why'd you Google that? It's like, I didn't, I studied. Which, new things in 2025 show me what a joke the education system really is. Let's be honest. Do you see the protests at Columbia University where they were tearing up their degrees in protest of the university? Did anybody see that? No. Okay, watch the news. It helps. That way. I mean, there's nothing real actually going on, but there's some good entertainment, so I'm going to share it with you. So they're tearing up their degrees across the road from Columbia University in protest of the university. They already got your money if you're tearing a degree in half. I don't think they care what you do with a piece of paper. You know, I hope that upset you so much that you went home and tore your birth certificate directly in two. It's okay, nothing actually happened. That was a nice joke. Now, at my last psych eval, yeah, don't worry, this is under a doctor's care, so it's not just free-range insanity. But they said, Angus, the way you were raised, I'm glad, we're surprised you didn't end up killing anybody. And I said, Doc, come on, man, give me some credit. I'm only 42. There's still time. I will achieve goals. It's all right to have them, even the big ones. You guys are really quiet. I know it's late and past most of your bedtimes, but, we're nocturnal here in the comedy world, so if you can wake up. Is anybody alive? Clap your hands. There you go. Look at that. All right, that seems a little bit better. All right, now we got the blood flowing. All right, so let's talk about the alphabet. They try and teach us all about trans. It's always been there. We learned A through Z, then we learned LGBTQ, but the truth is that the trans letters are X and Y. X isn't exactly sure if it wants to sh or z. And Y is sometimes a vowel. But what makes it stranger is that they're over there screwing around with numbers and shit too. We've been trying to solve them for years. And strangely enough, X and Y are the only two chromosomes that denote gender. If I had more money, I'd drop the mic, but I cannot afford it. Cannot afford it. Not one bit. Thank you. Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome. If you are new here, please form a line at the bar and order your drink accordingly. Thank you for coming to the Cove. The yellow zone is for parking and unloading and loading of passengers only. Whatever. Is anybody else worried about AI? As a voice actor, it's really difficult because, I've been told for years that I have a voice for radio.
You do.
Thank you. Nobody listens to the fucking radio. It doesn't exist. So I have to do this. I love this. This is what, but seriously, again, give yourselves a hand. Because this is what makes this possible. You guys coming out. Because I could sit at home and tell these jokes in front of a camera and put it out on YouTube and do it. But I'm here because this is for you guys. I want to be remembered for making people laugh, not how I did my taxes, or how I helped you guys do your taxes. Whew. I was in business for a long time. 2 degrees, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, no. I fell for it. You know, I fell for the education trap. And I mean, can you imagine working with this in an office? Like, I don't stick out in a casino. Okay, there's no gamblers in here, apparently. You've never been to a casino? It's worse than Walmart. Well, it used to be at 2 a.m., but Walmart doesn't do 2 a.m. anymore because...
Miami does.
What?
Miami is open until 2 a.m.
All right. Woo! Your thoughts intrigue me. I wish you subscribed to your newsletter. We will talk about that at another time. So, what I want to think is about AI giving us so much false information. The same stuff that they said we can't put on Wikipedia. You know, that's why they shut it down, because the Civil War was not caused by Stonewall Jackson performing his #1 rap single on Frederick Douglass's front porch. But today's internet would lead you to believe as such. Let me give you some facts. The following is a non-paid advertisement. So, you're scrolling and you're doom scrolling and you see something with numbers, and I used to be a numbers guy, so I like to look at them. Did you know that if you give your partner a back rub, they are 10% more likely to be attracted to you? All right, let me just make this a lot simpler. Blowjob's got to be worth at least 75. Like, I don't, like, what is going on here? And we have the wrong people making AI. We put nerds on it instead of geniuses. That's the problem. Now, nerds are just as smart as geniuses. But geniuses have been laid. And the difference is, if the geniuses were making AI, we'd probably have climate-controlled biodomes for our houses, maybe the flying cars that we saw way back in the 80s, instead of the sex-starved, crazed robots that are going to take over the world. 8 people died in the test runs. I made that one up. I made that up. I just don't support AI, man. I want to keep working, you know. I mean, that's why I don't have my original job. In 45 feet, take a right. It's cheaper to have a computer do it than to pay me. But the trouble with the money, let's go with this one. The hard part about money. Being a comic, I have to travel a lot. So I'm glad to be here, but life became more difficult. Yes, I had to kick out my roommate. It's tough, you know. But I came downstairs, and there he was, naked in the living room, and he's got this cucumber, and he's putting it directly up his ass. And I'm pissed, because I was going to eat that, and now it's going to taste like cucumber. I'll wait. All right, every comic in Ohio makes a joke about eating ass, and then the guy from Pennsylvania comes and does it, and they're like, no, that's our thing, Irishman. All right, I get it. I'll take that one out. Maybe it wasn't for you guys, but some of you weirdos like it. I don't care. I just come up here and they hand me this thing. I just write this stuff. I don't always believe it. I normally wear kilts. Someone said to me, a man that wears a kilt can't be apolitical. Watch me. I'm not smart enough to understand what we consider politics nowadays. You know, we have Musk forming this American system where we're going to have all our rights back. You know, all this infighting is what got us to this continent in the first place. The only problem now is there's no land left. So where are we going to go? Because apparently, I mean, Epstein Island, you'd think it was vacant, but I think all of our government is already there. Okay, that was a terrible joke about Epstein. They never laugh at this because they're like, I'm afraid because they might think... Just laugh. You don't even have to laugh with me. You can laugh at me. It's just easier. Anyway, weed's legal here now, right?
Woo!
Where's the weed smokers at in here? Right. I thought I would be equally excited about that. But when the government took that over, I can't afford it.
Exactly.
You know, they always said weed was a gateway drug. You know, don't do that. Just say no, it's a gateway drug. You know what they didn't tell you is a gateway drug? Ritalin. I was put on that from the time I was 4 years old until I was 26. It's a hell of a lot of time to do speed. How strong was that dose? Somewhere in the late 90s, early 2000s, I did meth, coke, and crack, and I was like, meh. My medicine was better. You know what that comes with now? 200 milligrams of Zoloft. And I'm still trying to figure out what it does. We're working on it. You know, I want to thank you guys again for coming out here, but I got one more AI thing to leave you with. They said, people are now going into a chat GPT psychosis. Yeah. You know, where they're too reliant on it and they're being involuntarily committed. Suck it up. I've heard voices my entire life and was just told to deal with it. You guys have been great. My name's Angus Thorne. Thanks for coming out.
Angus Thorne, keep it going.